So, dear friends, dear students, dear parents, today I am going to talk on a very important topic, a very relevant topic of today. And this topic I have already written on the board. That is the reality of coaching industry. And in this topic, I am not going to teach you anything on board. This is not a physics lecture in particular, but because it is connected to each one of us, like who are acquiring coaching in big institutes or normal institutes, I would like to throw some light on this topic. देखिए, like some 20 years back, when we were small, maybe a bit earlier also, 25 years back or 30 years back, there used to be schools, there used to be tuition classes, there used to be tuitions, not exactly tuition classes, tuitions. So people used to teach students one to one or in a small batch. But with times, like people could understand that if we can encash the desires of the people, if we can encash the tendency of the people to go for a supposedly golden future, then we can make good amount of money very easily in quick time. And people could understand that with competitions like IIT, JEE, CET, state exams, competitive exams for medical, if we could do something, if we can create a luring, a tempting environment, we can amass huge sums of money. And particularly people coming out of the professional institutes, they saw a golden opportunity in creating an industry out of coaching. And unfortunately, as somewhere Mr. Narayan Murthy said, they were successful in creating an industry out of this very noble profession of teaching. Now the relation between coaching institutes and the students is of the service provider and the client. The relationship between teacher and the student is no longer the relationship between teacher and the student, which has always been pious in this country in particular. Now that relationship is between a service provider and a client. And one should very clearly understand that if there is a service provider, he'll leave no stone unturned in convincing that he is the best coaching, best service provider. So, a comical play, I can say, a farce is being created in the name of coaching. Now, there are big brands, big institutes which are collecting lakhs of millions of students throughout the country. The total seats in competitive exams is not even 20% of, or even 10% of the amount of students that these institutes are gathering. Now, people think that by going into an institute, if you have joined a big and prestigious institute, some wonder will happen, some magic will happen, and I will land into a big institute like IIT. But this is not the reality. And as you know, like there were documentaries created on this, Quota Factory was created on this. Now I am surprised, and I was a part of that place, I am surprised that Quota became a hub of coachings where people specially used to send their children to prepare for competitive exams. And they thought that if one could get into ABC classes, XYZ classes, it would be really great for that student. And of course, there were some results which were produced. Some results were produced. Some toppers, some IIT toppers were produced. Some NEET toppers were produced. And then, encashing on these few results, these coaching institutes, they started gathering huge amounts of students. And of course, like if this is the crowd which is preparing for coachings, then 99.99% students are going to fail. Because success in coaching basically means you are selected into an institute. How can these coaching institutes make millions of students successful when even the seats are not even 1% of the total crowd? So now a big game is happening, marketing is happening. You can see the name of one student with 5 coaching institutes. I can enroll him into a test preparation course, or I can pay him money to just give us his name. Now when a pious thing like education becomes an industry, this is a grave situation of things. It is disastrous for the culture of this company, for this country. Now I myself have been a part of these coaching institutes, and invariably I have said that the environment, the culture is being spoiled. How? Now these coaching institutes, you will be surprised, they are run on the feedback of the students. And the owners say, if the students they don't give a good feedback to the teacher, so basically if the teacher is not a good entertainer, then the coaching institute will not run. So the teacher has to do anything. He has to perform gimmicks, he has to dance and act, and you can see academies coming out of dancing and acting. A math teacher, a physics teacher is doing some amount of acting, gimmicks, something like a Bollywood artist. And these artists, now they have become great teachers. So I remember like very authentic teachers teaching me like 30 years back. I was a part of this correspondence course, brilliant tutorials. And there were some fabulous teachers who used to come down to places to have 3 days contact program. And with these kind of teachers and courses, even an average student like me could clear IIT JEE. I was an average student. I scored only 70% in 12th in CBSE. But I could crack IIT JEE based upon this correspondence course. But with these gimmicks of these teachers, they lure these students and they win great laurels. Students start clapping for these teachers. Oh, what a big entertainer he is. And students are being befooled. So with these big institutes, if you people are dreaming that you can do something great, then you are hoping for the impossible. I am not saying that one cannot learn in a coaching institute, but let me tell you very frankly that the 80% contribution in the process of success of a student belongs to the student himself. The teacher has a meager 20% role. The coaching institute has meager 10 to 20% role. But they are portraying themselves as if they are the saviors of your destiny. Like if you don't join these coaching institutes, you will not land anywhere. It's must to join coaching. And the parents, because the emotions of parents are always weak, so they are admitting their children into these coaching institutes, and they don't know anything, because how can a parent know anything? But with these marketing gimmicks, the mind is being programmed, information, suggestion is given that yes, your child, if he just enters into Fardeen classes, Fardeen is my name, if I take any other name, possibly some big coaching institute will sue me. If you enter into my Fardeen classes, then the success is ensured. And now different schools have started onto this process. When I am saying schools, like I have seen schools pan India which have turned schools into a coaching industry, and they are hiring teachers, paying them lakhs of rupees per month. Now this is a very unfortunate state of things, and with this amount of coaching industry, the whole future of the country is at stake. So what I intend to say is, rather than having trust on coaching institutes, start having confidence on yourself. And these coaching institutes, they are simply playing the game of entertainment. And entertainment is not going to help you. Work is going to help you. No coaching institute tells you how to develop your brain, how to bring your capacity to think, what kind of psychological setup you need for a competitive exams. They are not giving you realistic inputs. They are spoon feeding you so that you can clap and say, oh, what a great teacher I have. And when you face a competitive exam like JEE, maybe you are not expected to write, oh, I had a great teacher, like who taught me in such an interesting fashion that I was up my toes. This is not what is required. What is required is a skill set, and that skill set can be developed on the basis of your efforts. There are enormous books, there are enormous courses, a huge content which is available, but that content has to be used by yourself. You have to work on it, you have to spend time on it, you have to work on your thinking capacity. And exactly like with my kind of course, I'm not charging anything, I'm giving you free YouTube videos. And if you people are interested in having one-to-one sessions, I would be glad in those sessions, a few sessions. But I can say most of the work my YouTube videos itself will do. So now I am not marketing for some money, but I want to share my knowledge. And fortunately there have been academies like Khan Academy in US, which is a free platform for learning. And I invite teachers to come up and dispense their knowledge, share their knowledge with students. If coaching becomes an industry, if it becomes a business, this is the most unfortunate thing. If you are selling a commodity, it is fine. You are selling food, clothes, it's fine. But if you make people, gullible people, your victims, your clients, and you charge them money for entertaining their children, then you are committing a sin. You are creating a bad karma. I want to tell it to all the coaching industry people. So all of you, please share my video with these coaching experts, with these coaching industry people who are trying to create a bigger and bigger industry, but their efforts will not survive because now people are coming in small numbers, in small batches. People are teaching students where they can help them out. So with these few words, I end this video here. We'll share something more in the next video. Thank you very much, and please share this word with wherever you can. Just spread this word.